This is about what the Bhagavad Gita says when your identity dissolves, your confidence crumbles, and your inner compass stops working. It's for anyone who's ever thought, who even am I anymore? Because what if I told you, that losing yourself, might just be the beginning of finding something real? Welcome to Echoes of Wisdom. If you're new here, consider subscribing. Chapter 1, The Invisible Collapse. Let me tell you about a guy I know. Let's call him Jay. Jay was always the go-to person. Smart, productive, on top of things. First to help, last to complain. On the outside, he looked fine, even impressive. But inside, he was shrinking. Every day, a part of him quietly disappeared. He stopped doing things he loved. He started saying yes to everything just to feel needed. He looked at his calendar and saw meetings, deadlines, errands, but no joy, no stillness, no soul. One morning, stuck in traffic on the way to work, he looked in the rearview mirror and didn't recognize the eyes staring back. That was the day he said it aloud, "I've lost myself." But Jay's story isn't rare. It's your story. It's my story. It's the story of millions. People who did what they were told, went to school, got the job, played it safe, and still ended up hollow. The Bhagavad Gita begins exactly here. With a collapse. Arjuna, a powerful warrior, breaks down on the battlefield. Not because he's weak, but because something inside him knows, he's been fighting the wrong war. That's the first truth of the Gita. Sometimes, you must fall apart to finally ask the right questions. Chapter 2, The War Within. When you feel lost, you're not broken. You're conflicted. Jay didn't lose himself in one big crash. It was a slow erosion. It was the death by 1,000 compromises. The skipped workouts. The fake smiles. The endless hustle for approval. And now, he was exhausted. Not from working too hard, but from betraying himself too often. Arjuna stands in his chariot, torn. His hands tremble. He says, "I do not see what benefit it will be to kill my own people in this battle. I desire neither victory, nor kingdom, nor pleasures." It sounds extreme. But think about it. Arjuna doesn't just doubt the battle. He doubts the why behind it. That's what happens when we live without alignment. We lose clarity. We confuse motion with meaning. Jay kept achieving. But none of it felt like him. That's the war within, when the life you've built becomes the cage you live in. Chapter 3, The False Self. Here's the part no one talks about: we all wear masks. You're the responsible one. The strong one. The achiever. The people pleaser. The one who has it all together. But eventually, that mask suffocates the real you. Jay was that guy. Always in control, always helpful, but underneath, he was tired of performing. He wanted to scream, cry, sleep for a week, but he couldn't. Because he didn't know who he was without that identity. The Gita calls this a hanker, the ego, the false self. It's the voice in your head that says, "You are your job. You are your productivity. You are your followers." But Krishna says to Arjuna, "You are not this body. You are not this mind. You are the eternal soul." Read that again. You are the soul. Not the labels. Not the expectations. Not even the thoughts that keep you up at night. When you lose yourself, you're actually losing the illusion. Chapter 4, Emptiness is a Gift. Jay hit rock bottom. He couldn't feel anything, not joy, not anger, just emptiness. He called in sick to work, turned off his phone, and sat in silence. And in that silence, something strange happened. He didn't explode. He didn't collapse. He heard something. A whisper. A pull. He opened a random book. The Bhagavad Gita. And the words punched him in the chest. The mind acts like an enemy for those who do not control it. That was it. Jay wasn't lazy, he wasn't broken, he was trapped in a war with his own mind. When you feel nothing, that's not failure. That's the space where something new can grow. Emptiness is the soil of transformation. You just have to sit long enough to let the truth emerge. Chapter 5, Detach to Return. Jay began detaching. Not from life, but from lies. He stopped checking his email every 3 minutes. He stopped saying yes to things that drained him. He stopped pretending everything was fine. Instead, he walked, no music, no phone, just breath. He started journaling, not for likes, but for healing. He wrote, "I don't know who I am, but I'm ready to find out." The Gita says, "Abandon all attachment to the results of your actions." In a world obsessed with outcomes, this is radical advice. Stop chasing applause, stop chasing perfection, start showing up from your soul. Jay wasn't trying to win anymore. He was trying to return. Return to that kid who used to laugh without reason. To that artist who painted without an audience. To that boy who believed in something bigger. Chapter 6, The Power of Surrender. Jay prayed. Not in a fancy way, just simple words, "Help me remember who I am." That was his turning point. He stopped trying to control every outcome, he stopped fighting life. He started trusting that maybe, just maybe, there's a force bigger than his anxiety. The Gita calls it surrender. Not giving up, giving in, to the wisdom inside you. To the intelligence of life. Those who are motivated only by desire for the fruits of action are miserable. Jay started living differently. He prioritized presence over productivity, rest over rush, meaning over metrics. And slowly, things changed. Not outside, inside. Chapter 7, You Were Never Lost. Jay still has tough days, he still feels anxious sometimes. But now, he knows how to return to himself. He takes deeper breaths, he sets clearer boundaries. He reminds himself every morning, "I am not what the world wants me to be, I am what I choose to become." The Bhagavad Gita doesn't give you a 5-step plan. It gives you something better, a mirror. It shows you the war you're already fighting. It shows you the lies you've believed. And then it shows you the truth. Whenever righteousness declines and injustice rises, I manifest myself. Maybe you're not lost. Maybe it's your false self that's dying. Maybe you're being emptied, so that your soul has room to breathe again. If this video resonated with you, comment below, "I'm ready to return to myself." Send this to someone who feels like they've lost their way. And if you want more grounded, healing wisdom, subscribe to Echoes of Wisdom. Because sometimes, you don't need more advice. You just need someone to remind you. You were never truly lost. You were just waiting to come home.